In Chapter 1 of The Hobbit, page 23, if you'll see my own copy of the text where I have conveniently underlined his name in the text for you, we are introduced to the character of Smaug, the dragon. Now, you aren't going to see Smaug for a very long time, but here is a picture of what he looks like in Peter Jackson's recent adaptation of The Hobbit. Of course, Peter Jackson turns one book into 3 adaptations, so there's some type of problem with that, but this is neither the time nor the place to really talk about it. You'll hear what I think about his movies probably pretty soon, but not right now. One thing I will always remind you about is that you have to be very, very careful and pay very close attention to the names that Tolkien gives his main characters. Okay, fine, Smaug may not seem like a main character right now, but there's a lot involved in his name. Trust me. Hey, I'm talking to you right now, so why don't I just show you? Smaug. 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 Why do you think Tolkien names Smaug Smaug? You're probably sitting there thinking, pick 3 names and then play eeny, meeny, miny, moe, right? Tolkien was a philologist. What's a philologist, you might ask? Well, let's pull open the Oxford English Dictionary online and look up what the word philology means. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the 3rd definition of philology means the branch of knowledge that deals with the structure, historical development, and relationships of languages or language families. The historical study of phonology and morphology of languages, historical linguistics. Let me guess. Right now, you're saying, what? And probably look like this girl right here. This is really just a fancy way of saying Tolkien loves language. He loves it so much that he makes sure it is a vital element in The Hobbit. And he does this by naming his characters some really, really, really cool but very, very old names that can be traced way, 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 way back in history. Look at those beautiful words that I've put up here for you, for your viewing pleasure. Now, let's go through them one by one. If you look at the word smaogan, it means penetrating in Old English. Of course, smaegon means inquire into in Old English, and smaegol means burrowing, worming into in Old English, which is derived from the verb smoogon, which means to creep through, which of course, as you can see in parentheses, is also Old English. Now, what does all this mean? Well, if we progress through my little flow chart that we have here, all of these Old English words derive from the prehistoric German verb smoogon, which means to squeeze through a hole. Then, which is really, really, really the important thing to be mindful of here, if you convert the verb smoogon into past tense, it becomes smaug, squeeze through a hole. And we know that the dragon's name is Smaug. Now, where, one might ask, does Smaug live? If you go back to page 23 of my textbook, I'll continue to read from there and then continue on to the next page. It may have been secret once, said Thorin, but how do we know that it is secret any longer? Old Smaug has lived there long enough now to find out anything there is to know about those caves. Now, where is there? The Lonely Mountain, of course. But how exactly does Smaug get into the Lonely Mountain? By penetrating into, by burrowing into, and by squeezing through a hole. And of course, since he's done this in the past, he has been squeezed through a hole, which is his name. I blew your mind, didn't I? Don't thank me, thank Tolkien. Okay, fine. Maybe you should thank me, because after all, I'm the one making you read The Hobbit right now. You're probably wondering what could be even cooler than Smaug. Well, give me another day so we can get, I think, 4 more chapters into the book, and then I'll introduce you to another word derived from Smaogan, Smagon, Smagol, Smoogon, when I show you this guy. Until then, I'll see you next time.